Content Catchup.
Alright, friends and enemies, episode 9 of the Content Catch-Up Season 4, baby. We're back. Jules, you're joining me once again, thankfully, because a show by myself would be pretty boring, but how are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you, Michael, and I agree, a show by yourself would be boring. You can't carry it like I can.
You should probably lift me up.
I'd be fine on a show by myself. I reckon I could talk my way through about anything, so you on the other hand, you'd stumble.
Radio stations by yourself would be, well, a nightmare for me, yeah, but if you can do it, maybe we should put that on. Do a YouTube live stream of just you all night.
Well, funny, yeah, I reckon I could. But anyway, going well. In the middle of Christmas shopping is what's been happening in my life. I know you didn't ask, but I know you were about to. So
I was about to.
Yeah. Had a whole day out today, Christmas shopping. Credit card took a bit of a flogging, but I am 80% there.
Nice. And are you exhausted?
Look, I don't want to go back out and do it again. Can I just say, like, there are so many fuckwits out, like, at this time of the year. There are
See yourself, mate.
Yeah, just including me. So many battlers, like, just amongst, like, absolutely everything, like walking.
Give us an example.
Okay. Here's my biggest pet peeve at the moment. It's people, number one, walking on their phones and not like looking where they're going. And number two, like, is there not an unwritten rule in Australia that like you walk and drive on the left and then like overtaking is on the right? Like people just walking towards you when you're walking on the left. I'm like, fuck you, you pieces of shit. Get out of my way.
Did you have any... I hope you did that. I hope you told him to get out of your way.
Oh, I had one the other day on the way to work. This clown was like riding on the wrong side of the bike path, trying to overtake someone as I was coming the other way. And I just had to stop and give him the absolute, like, what the fuck are you doing, mate? You fucking idiot. I kept riding.
Bike riders are aggressive, though. I think this sort of blends well into your personality, because if you said you're a cyclist, I'd fully believe that. You're too aggressive.
I'm not aggressive.
Yeah, you just need to chill out.
I'm not an aggressive person, but
you just abused elderly people at the shopping centre.
Oh, no, they weren't elderly. They're just young dickheads. Anyway, Christmas is great, everyone.
Christmas spirit here on the Content Catch-Up. Well, next week, maybe we'll go into it. But before you ask...
Sorry.
Oh, well, no, I just wanted to get on top of the most exciting part of this episode, because we're going to be joined by someone live, and maybe we should do it. We won't tell them who it is, but you had the great idea just to treat this recording as a live radio show. So they'll be joining us at any minute, and then we'll tell you who it is.
Yeah, so if you saw that post that Barks just put up of him calling me a dickwad and me asking him to trust him, it's just... I figured, like, we'll treat this as a radio show, like you said, Barks. When they come in, and then we'll just kick onto our regular segments after that.
I love it, and I apologize for not trusting you. Over text can be difficult sometimes, and you are a dickwad, though.
It could go badly, so we just don't know. But anyway, no one's going to know because we'll edit it out.
No.
You and Darren have been playing some basketball? Oh, fuck with
Darren. Yeah, fuck with Darren. No, first little one-on-one session since my knee injury, which, can I just say, have not lost a bit.
I'm not going to crack
because I didn't have it. Again. Yeah, no, you can. No, it actually felt really good to do. You miss those things. Growing up playing basketball my whole life, so you miss doing all that. But that was good fun. Got out there this morning. He won the last game. We don't keep score because that'd be too serious. But yeah, he won the last game. So give him the chockies.
All right. I mean, I won't. In my mind, you won because I don't want to give Darren anything.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was really good. Got the sunscreen on because I just want to make sure I'm looking after myself because it was sunny this morning.
It really annoys me when you don't put your sunscreen on and then complain about getting burnt.
Or sunscreen in my eyes. That's my go-to. Whenever I put sunscreen in my eyes, you just end up crying.
Who was it? There's a footy player that was saying how they stopped getting the sunscreen in their eyes. I think it might be Elise O'Day, and she was like,
"What's the trick?
You put Vaseline."
Like
near your eyes, and it stops it from getting in, but then you end up with Vaseline all in your eye. I don't know. I don't think she'd worked it out properly.
Well, that sounds... I mean, if it works, credit to her. But just to confirm, listeners, I don't mean rubbing sunscreen into my eyeballs. I mean sunscreen from my face getting into my eyes. Just to clarify that.
Yeah, when you sweat, it drips down.
Yeah, you don't just lather up the old...
Sunglasses?
Oh,
Nah, sunscreen
nah,
straight in
put
there.
it straight on. All right. Anything else from the week, Jules? I think. Well, I was off work sick all week, so I don't have much for you.
No, I don't have a lot. There's not many people in the office this week, so not too much to talk about.
No me, no team.
Well, there was a team. I've
Not a very
shifted
good one.
desks again. If that's of
Oh,
any interest
where?
to anyone, I'm back to my original spot. But look, I don't think everyone needs to know.
No,
like,
we're not going
office
to that.
seating plan. Yeah,
Bring up
I
the
reckon
org chart.
the org chart. Let's crack into egg of the week.
Egg of the week. You go first.
Now, I've got a couple. I think the obvious one is we've got the same one here. The Melbourne victory / soccer fans. I mean, if anyone isn't aware, there was that big fucking pitch invasion in the Melbourne derby last night. So Melbourne Victory v Melbourne City in the A-League, where there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the background. But to cut it short, like a group of radical fans threw a flare onto the pitch at the Melbourne City goalkeeper's end. Melbourne City goalkeeper, rightly or wrongly, threw it back and it goes into the crowd. Fans storm the pitch. They throw a big, it looked like a piece of metal bucket or something at the goalkeeper's head, cut him open. Umpire or referee gets stuff, and apparently a Channel 10 producer got injured as well. Just why?
Yeah, and I just use this. Mine one was egg. My egg to this was just soccer fans in general. I think they just cross the line of too passionate. I'm not a soccer fan, but I don't really understand how people can take sport that seriously. That there'd be so many examples of this if we looked it up, but this one is just the recent, so it probably brings it up. But yeah, I just find it ridiculous. It's too passionate.
I think I'm all for the passion, right? And
you're right. It's probably not even passion. That's probably not the right word.
It's group mentality that you're going to be safe because you're in a group, and it's bad. Like at any sport, like in AFL, it's the fights between drunken supporters, in the stands that you want to get rid of. Here, though, I kept thinking, the referee is just they're just doing their job, man.
That's what I can't understand.
And what does it prove by storming the field? What are you going to do? Punch the goalkeeper? What the fuck?
Do you go home thinking, "Yep, I did the right thing today"?
Yeah, I'm a real hero. I just hope that the cops actually find them, and because it's assault at the end of the day.
Well, surely with the amount of vision and cameras they've got, they'd be hopefully easy to pick that guy. But
well, this is also where if these radical soccer groups want to keep going, they need to if they know who the people are, just hand them over and get rid of them. Fuck.
Yeah,
that's
not
good
for
them. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not good for the game that they love. But bunch of eggs, all of them.
Absolute eggs. The other one I have, if you don't mind me rolling, do you mind me rolling?
No, roll them out.
Roll them out. Okay. So the second one, let's start to get the screen share going because this might take a while.
Not our friends again.
Our friends, South Melbourne Phoenix.
Do we have more eggs or bosses for the Southeast Melbourne
I reckon we've got an equal amount at the moment.
They get a bit of both.
Yeah. We'll see when this loads.
Doesn't bode well with I know a couple of people from them, and Darren does too, so maybe we're breaking a few relationships there. There was that tip from David Sosner, don't break any relationships.
We're not breaking relationships. I feel like we call people out equally on this.
Sure.
This is from Steve Smith, who's also got an incredible name, not the cricketer, the journalist, Steve Smith. He tweeted out this media release that Southeast Melbourne Phoenix put out. And for those who don't know, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, Southeast Melbourne private. Phoenix, a team in the NBL, Melbourne's second team. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Jesus, piss off. We don't want any teams messages.
Close teams. Leave it at the door, Jules.
Leave it at the door. So I'm going to read out this media release, which is before their big game against Melbourne United. After an injury-plagued beginning to the season, the Phoenix sit third on the NBL ladder at 10-6 with their entire roster to choose from. They are 9-2 and have an NBL best record of 8-2 at home. So we start this and we're like, okay, what's the point of this release? Like, already a bit strange. Like, why are you putting out a media release with your like win-loss record in it, right?
Mm.
And then here we go. But still, most of the noise around the Phoenix from the external media screams doubt. Their bench doesn't produce enough, their defense is suspect, and they haven't been tested by the good sides yet. The loudest voices point to the team's defense and how it hasn't improved in 3 years, which simply is an incorrect and lazy analysis.
Wow.
What is this? This is the bizarre media release to start with, right? Like, that's what I'm going to say to start this all off. It is strange. The second part of it is that they then went on to lose to Melbourne United. And this other part here, just to further reinforce this is Steve Smith. United bench rebounds 26, Southeast Melbourne 6. United bench assists 9, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 1. United bench steals blocks 9, Southeast Melbourne 0. But sure, external media is the issue.
It's a real strange strategy, to say the least. Like, so much for like blocking out external noise, but they've gone the opposite approach basically and focused solely on it and been like that they're the reason, and then your next game proves their point.
It's a real strange one to like go out on a hill to die on. Like, I feel like the number one thing with media managing is like you don't draw too much attention to actual performance. Am I like, because that's the one thing you can't control?
Yeah, well, it's like, internal, external noise. It's like focus on one. Well, the obvious thing for clubs to do is focus on one and ignore the other. But yeah.
Anyway, strange Southeast Melbourne. That's a pretty big egg on my behalf.
Yeah, it's a good egg. I'll just finish this bunch of eggs off by egging Instagram story ads. Are you getting these?
Yeah, I'm getting tagged or not tagged, like targeted by a lot of random ones.
Yeah, you just get some sort of that thing where someone adds you in a story or they've mentioned you in the story. It's just weird ads, and there's no real explaining needed for this. But I'm just egging it. It's bloody annoying.
What's the weirdest one you've got?
Oh, I don't look too much into the detail. I just skip through it, but it's just weird.
Surely you're checking them out.
Oh, I'll jot down every single one for you.
Yeah, let's get
if that's what you want.
Week top 5.
I'm just getting a bit of. Oh, hang on. Bit of word into me that our guest is joining us.
Oh, here we go. We're on.
Hang on. Oh, we'll have a thing.
Oh, here we go. Here he is,
boys.
Live and virtually in the flesh. Hey, bro.
Welcome.
How are we?
Good. How are you?
Very good. I've had a busy morning, but managed to get through traffic pretty well and make it to the podcast. So,
well, what are you up to? That's the main priority. That's the main thing tick off your list for Sunday. But it was day 1 today, did you say?
Yeah. So we had the pre-season camp beginning. So the infamous IDQ Storm camp, that was day 1 this morning. Ooh. So I've been out and about in the sun all day, which was nice.
Yeah, nice day for it. Unless you hate the sun.
Absolutely.
It's terrible.
Friends and enemies, we're talking to Bray Taylor here in case you didn't know. So Bray, I don't know when I first saw your work, Bray. I think it must have been some freelance photography stuff. But do you want to give the listeners a bit of a quick intro to who you are, I guess, because you're now with the Melbourne Storm, but I know that wasn't your original career path.
Yeah, so I've been at the Storm coming up on 7 months now. And before that, I did a small internship. I think it was about 6 or 8 weeks at Essendon for the VFLW program. And before that, my actual job was in mining. So that was from freshly turned 18 to 28, essentially. Was just always pushing dirt, living the dream. But yeah, no other background other than that. I was just doing freelance work on Saturdays and Sundays when I could.
That's such a obvious, state the obvious
trajectory.
Yeah, different. Like, so where did photography sort of start for you? Like, what sort of drew your interest in it?
Going back to sort of the very early days, it was probably that peak Instagram era of like landscapes, fluoro jacket. Like, we'd just go out a couple mates. Yeah. Back then, we were just shooting on our phone. It was nothing serious, and I think I just gradually got a bit more interested in it over the years, and eventually just little things popped up here and there, whether it was by complete fluke or putting yourself in that position. Yeah, just kept sort of following that.
Yeah, that's so cool. I said to you during the week, Bray, that your recent LinkedIn post basically recaps exactly what we want to talk to you about. So maybe we should just post that, Jules, and get on with it. No.
Yeah.
Well,
So yes,
that's the chat, everyone. Yeah.
yeah, thanks, Bray. No, we'll post that, and that was really good. No, so we'll post that during the week, listeners. But yeah, maybe like I was actually going to read it out, but I guess you touched on the 10 years in mining, and now you're finally living this dream job at the Storm. I guess first off, what is your actual title at the Storm, and then maybe like a quick recap of like what this LinkedIn post was, because it basically just recaps your journey, and then basically some really cool advice to other creatives, and I guess what you think or what it sounds like your key things were to sort of get to where you are now.
Yep. So my job title is I'm the one of two at the Storm. I'm one of the multimedia and video coordinators, and the other one is Kobe Shafovsky. So he's been there a bit over a year now, but both quite fresh to the club. He's much younger than me, but he's an absolute gun. And going back to first part of the question, what was next up?
Yeah, like your
just recapping
my loved LinkedIn post of yours.
Yeah, so I think recently I've started putting myself or more of my personality up on Instagram, and I just keep noticing now I'm getting a lot of messages that are very similar to what I was sending people about 6 months ago, just asking how I got into the industry and how I got my job. And I don't know, I think there was just a moment off the back of last year's final lockdown where I just decided, no, I'm going all in now. I'm sick of doing mining. If I don't do it now, I'm going to be doing that when I'm 60. And you just had this weird realization that I probably should just commit. And yeah, through a couple of, I don't want to say flukes, because obviously you put a lot of hard work into it, but just, yeah, committing to consistency was probably the biggest thing, getting out of your own head that, you know, the work you do is good and you should push yourself out there and sort of own what you do. And I guess the more consistent I was on LinkedIn and on Twitter, probably a bit more than Instagram, that's sort of where a few opportunities came about. And I think it was Paddy who, at one stage, he gave me a bit of advice, and he said, if you want to chase likes, or you want, that clout, I guess you could say, post on Instagram, but if you want a job, post where the hirers are. And for whatever reason, that never actually clicked in my head beforehand, that I was never posting where the bosses were. So yeah, late last year, I went pretty hard on LinkedIn and scored a little window of opportunity with the Dons and tried to do the best I could there and just said yes to everything. And the Storm opportunity popped up and here we are.
Yeah, that's so cool. Don't worry about Jules. He's not actually left us. He's just cheap on his low power mode. But I was just want to touch on that. How cool is that cycle of when you realize you're the one reaching out to people, and then now people are reaching out to you? Like, that's such a cool content creator thing. I think
it's quite surreal, because if I literally go into my LinkedIn messages, 4 or 5 before what I've got right now is me 6 months ago, just asking people like yourself or Paddy, lots of just other people trying to get the same bit of info. And I think maybe that's part of why I'm trying to be a bit more vocal online now, is because I sort of got this job through the help from you guys, Paddy, a lot of other people gave me advice that, you didn't have to do that. And that sort of now is in my head that these young people that are coming to me, I've got an opportunity now to do the same thing and pass on info, whether it's right or wrong, but hopefully it helps them out.
I think it's something that's the coolest thing about once you're in the industry is being able to pass on. We don't really have that much more knowledge than anyone else, but all we have is experience, and the experience.
I think it's a community.
Yeah, community and experience. I think we often speak about it as well, that you always feel so scared to share your own work and to talk yourself up, but in reality, no one's going to do it for you.
Yeah, you don't have that cheerleader.
Yeah, unless you are someone that's already established. but you've got to have that relationship. So in the first place, you've got to put yourself out there to get the relation. It's a weird kind of link up of everything working well together. I've got a question on the back of this, Bray. I guess you're kind of 7 months into Storm, but like six or so months after Essendon VFLW as well. Now that you're in it, are you enjoying it as much as you thought you would? Is it everything you imagined it to be? Is there anything different that, like, take us through that?
Yeah, it's definitely, I absolutely love it. Like, it's a much better career path for me than what I was doing. It's such a different thing where I was on quite good money beforehand. So like the difference in pay was very noticeable at the start. But I think,
Storm, if you're listening,
yeah, bump it up. I think it just really reaffirmed, like, you can enjoy your work, and I could have an option to go elsewhere and earn far more money, but the enjoyment was never there. And I don't know, I just love it. Love the connection. The culture within the club is awesome. It's definitely not completely what I thought it was in good ways, but like the workload, I probably was a bit naive to like how much work does go on in the industry, and sort of behind the scenes, because you want to get the job and take these cool photos and videos of the players, but when you haven't got that experience, you don't think about how many partners the club has or sponsors and how much internal work you have to do. So there's a lot there that could probably catch some people off guard, and it caught me off guard at first. But I think when you realize what you're doing, you're servicing the club, like that's just lifting the entire club up.
Yeah.
Rather than just taking your own cool shots.
It's kind of funny. Like, sport is such a small part of an actual sport team. Like, I reckon, Barks, correct me if I'm wrong, I reckon we do like at least 60% stuff that's not on field stuff these days. It's
like servicing other departments. But I think that's such a good point, because you sort of just, like you're probably like me, Bray, like, I want to take cool videos, I want to take cool photos, but then you're like, oh, hang on, there's 80% of other stuff to be done.
Yeah.
But definitely enjoying it. It's just, trying to make it known that there's going to be a lot more work than you probably are expecting. But in saying that, as long as you've got good people.
I think it's also like about making it enjoyable as well. Like, you might not be doing sport 24/7 or like doing the cool shit, but like if you can make that other partnership stuff or like the community stuff or whatever it might be, like down to taking star photos, which is, also part of the role sometimes. Like, as long as you can have a bit of fun with it, I think it's what you make of it, really, like with anything.
Yeah. The next part of this, guys, probably just an open discussion for everyone. I reckon when you go in the industry, especially like being around athletes and sort of bigger names, is the old imposter syndrome. And like, Bray, like I think it was like you mentioned bringing this up in the run sheet, but do you reckon you've felt a bit of that, or is that something that you've related to a bit?
Yeah, I think even before Storm, I probably dealt with a bit of that, and whether that was just because I've been at the mines for so long that when I come to meeting industry professionals, if you will, you meet them and you sort of feel a bit embarrassed, like to say that you're a photographer or a content creator, because it's like, who am I to say that? I literally push dirt for a living. And I think it took quite a while, and it's probably only been a bit more recent where I've started to, feel a lot more comfortable in the role. And, I guess that probably comes from all these people messaging me. I think the first time someone messaged me was like 2 weeks into my job, and I just didn't know how to respond, because I'm like, I'm literally just winging it. Like, you're asking the wrong person, but
it's so hard, isn't it? Like, especially like if you're introverted like me, like you and Jules will tell you that I don't shut up now, which I don't think is accurate.
Doesn't shut up, honestly.
But like, that's probably just a good example of like, and I imagine it'd be like 5 times harder coming from something like mining where, like as you said, like you're literally telling people, I'm a professional photographer or content creator, but then it's almost like, at the back of your mind that it's just a self-taught, and I still think it's like a self-taught hobby. So it's like, how do I actually bring that confidence? And it's like making people trust you that you can do what you say you can do.
Yeah,
I think so as well.
I think
sorry. No, you go.
Yeah, I was just gonna agree say, like, I think linking back to the LinkedIn post, like that part of consistency and being consistent isn't just for those opportunities. It was also for a bit about me to prove through repetition and through work that you can do it. Because without that, if you just do one good project and disappear off the face of the earth for a few months, that just sort of feeds into everyone else thinking, is he actually legit or serious if he's not doing it consistently? So I think the more consistent I became with it, in that came a bit more confidence.
Yeah, and your consistency focus also makes, I think that's what you're trying to say, like it also makes you grow quicker. By doing it more and more, you're only going to teach yourself, which I found too, and I can relate to too.
Absolutely.
There's probably a balance in that as well, like just to round it out, that like you want to be consistent, but you don't want to force anything. Like you don't want to just be posting for the sake of posting, so you seem like
photos of your dog.
Oh yeah. But you know what I mean? Like you want to have purpose in your consistency as well. Like, and this sounds really wanky, but you don't want to just be posting for the sake of posting, especially on LinkedIn where you know where people are coming and looking for that next person that they're going to hire, or like whatever it might be, or even Twitter where you can get called out so easily. Like your Instagram is probably a great place for you just to consistently post, and that can be a bit more who I am outside of work, in work, all that kind of stuff. But you do have to keep some sort of a lens on who you're talking to.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Now we've got a few non-traditional pathways to our current roles. Like I'm sure you might have heard, Bray, that Barks was actually starting an architecture firm called Barkitecture before he made his way.
Part of that is not accurate.
To video ways.
I gave up my whole firm to chase my dream. It's a real hero.
I've worked as a barista. So none of us have had like a traditional pathway. I think the other thing that is often overlooked is like people think you've got to have a big university degree or have finished high school to get into these roles. Do you have any advice to people who might have come like from a non-traditional background such as us, how you get into it and what you can do to build your confidence and build your skills?
Yeah, I think for me personally, like I have never gone to uni. I never did any courses or anything like that. Probably the biggest one was just, and as much as I hate to say it, it's definitely who you know and making those connections. And I think trying to do it in like a genuine way. You don't want to just kiss everyone's ass and try and get these opportunities. Like try and provide value and actually be useful to people or companies, and then that will open up more opportunities and doorways there. I think if you're just forcing it the entire time, it's going to be very noticeable that you're in it for other reasons. So for me, it was just, trying to, any opportunity that I could, I wanted to try and provide as much value as I could. And I think that just really helps quite a lot. We lost Jules, or is he still there on?
No, I'm still here. Sorry, my internet's
got to trust he's there.
I think.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to add on to the back of that. So just taking any opportunities you can and just being genuine, and then just be consistent. Like you guys just touched on, like post on the right platforms, reach out to the right people. Just you don't have to go to uni, and that probably held me back for quite a lot of that time in the mines. I just assumed that everyone in the industry had gone to uni and done all these degrees, and I just assumed I would never make it through the interview process to actually be in consideration. And I think, especially for creative roles, like more so like what I do, I don't think you really need a degree.
No.
You're going to be able to do that. Sometimes you can't be taught that. It's just within the creator. So I think being, obviously if you're going to try and apply for an accounting job, maybe that's a different story. But for taking photos, it's just backing yourself and trying to be genuine, take opportunities, and just get stuck in.
Stuff like that, in my opinion, so jump in, Barks, but like life experience helps way more. Like because it's such a relationship based role. Like, you can't just be a photographer that goes and shoves a camera in someone's face and takes a snap. You got to be able to talk to people. You got to be able to connect with them to get the most out of them, and also draw on like who you were before you land in this role to kind of like frame your content and like frame what people want. Like, if you're just someone that's gone by the books, and look, there's multiple ways to get into this. It's not saying like going to uni or anything is wrong, or like coming straight through that creative process, but like,
we strongly discourage anyone studying.
Yeah, sports grad, you've got your shit all wrong. But no, like, genuinely, like I feel people who have gone out and done something else and then truly landed where they want to be because they know, like you said, Bray, like, you didn't want to be in the mines until you were 60. Like, you actually wanted to do this, and whatever you had to do it, you were going to do it. Like, that's the type of person that is way more valuable in my mind than anyone else, and will go further.
Yeah, I think I was just going to add, I think, I don't know if you've heard this as well, Bray, but I know you have, Jules, how people will sort of transparently say they hire the person, not the skill set, because it just reigns so true. Like, you don't want someone who can do everything if it's just a shit heap to work with, like Jules. Like, you want someone like me and Bray that can good person and learn the skills.
Like, that's so I'm such a shit.
No, but it's very true. Like, you can learn these things. And I was going to add to what you said about taking opportunities, Bray. How have you gone with other skill sets? So like, yours is what I'm assuming is mainly photography. Like, does your role include video? Like, have you obviously you've got to delve into other things. Like, how have you found that?
Yeah, so I come from a very strong strong photo background, and didn't have too much experience with video. It was something I wanted to do, but they're just very different worlds. And I took that job knowing that it's going to be quite a video heavy role as well. So I do, Kobe and I sort of balance the workload wherever we can. And it's definitely, you got to branch out. I think unless you're like a elite 1% level photographer, I think the reality is you're probably going to be doing video, photo, doing podcasts, doing everything for the Storm brand rather than just one thing only. So yeah, just going about it was just through, again, repetition. Like, I didn't really have a clue what I was doing at the start, but I reached out to people that I thought might be able to help, and not be afraid to ask for that help and get yourself on the right track. But yeah,
we're really not the size of like NBA and NFL, NHL sized content teams. Like, there's genuinely like two or three people doing multiple things, and you're right, you have to be able to go where it needs. And you might not be the best video producer, you might not be the best graphic designer, but to understand like what you have to do or what will make that easier for someone else is like so important as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Bucks, you got anything else?
No, I think it's been really. I think your journey is really cool, Brian. That's why I wanted to talk to you, I guess, because it is really cool. Sort of just taking that leap, because it is a difficult one, but at the same time, I can just tell like you got to do these things for yourself. So I just wanted to say, because following you on Instagram, it's been great to chat, and I know we've bumped into each other once at the old summer jam. We might see each other next year again, but yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on.
No,
I appreciate you boys asking me.
Oh, really got to echo that,
ahead,
bro. Like, I don't get a lot of messages. I'd like to say that I get a lot of messages that I'm a really big dog, that people reach out all the time. But
you tell me all the time.
There have been a few people reach out, and it has been in quite a disingenuous way. And I felt there was like a good back and forth when you reached out, and I was curious, you were curious, like to learn from each other. And I think it's a huge reward for everything that you put in. It's not luck. It's not. I can't remember the exact words you used before, but I think it's more just a testament to what you put in. And it is exciting to see what you're doing at the Storm. I was going to touch on your fixture stuff that you did the other day, but I think we're all fixtured out, and I can say that safely for everyone. But no, you're killing it over there, and it's a really exciting brand to be a part of. So all the best for the season coming up, and hopefully we'll chat to you again soon.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks as well for wanting to have me on. It's a nice little full circle moment. I think I've told you guys privately, like, I sort of found a lot of my opportunities stemmed from the podcast itself. I found Paddy through that, and then Paddy gave me resources. So to link it back up is it's awesome. So really appreciate that, boys.
No drama, mate.
No worries at all. And we got to stop shouting out Paddy on this, Jules.
Yeah,
he gets too much love.
Paddy, mate.
He's had enough.
Yes.
All good, Bray. We'll leave you to it, mate. We're going to carry on with a bit more of the show, but you go enjoy your weekend. Catch you
Awesome.
soon.
Thanks for finding the time
guys.
as well. Sunday night is not ideal, we know, but appreciate it.
No, all good. Thanks, guys.
Enjoy, mate. See you later.
See ya.
Now, Michael Barker. I
Julian.
think that works seamlessly.
Oh, you couldn't tell. Is he here? Is he not? Who knows?
Is he here? Is he gone?
Well done by you.
Absolute star. I did mean what I said. I wasn't bullshitting just because he was here. He the way he's gone about his journey and like the networks he's created, I could never have done that. Like post about myself and put myself out like that. And so I really admire people who have the ability to do it in such a good way as well. Like not ego driven, just like here's what I'm doing and I'm really proud of it. Credit to him. He deserved every opportunity he gets.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree. I think it's so hard to put yourself out there if that's not in your nature, because it's so easy to feel like people might think like this is a bit odd, this is a bit full of yourself. But if you keep meeting people like Bray, and we'll keep like discovering people like Bray, it's just a walking example that although it might be uncomfortable, although not everyone might love it, it works. Like it's what you need to do if you want to get into these type of jobs.
Yeah, and it sounds like Brad agrees in the background there.
Yeah, Brad loves content. Brad is all passionate about it.
I do want to say, if anyone is listening to this and they do have any questions about the industry or like content or just want to get an idea of like what goes on and how they can get in, always feel free to jump into our Instagram DMs. Or I'm no good at responding to Instagram DMs. Barks normally responds to them, but LinkedIn or Twitter, like jump in. Happy to have a chat about anything. Not guaranteeing we can't give you jobs or anything, but we can
just
help.
Don't go to uni.
Yeah, just don't go to uni. But yeah, we're always happy to chat and talk through like what you're thinking or any doubts you might have, or if you got any questions. Yeah. I think that's the one thing we can do. We've had so many people help us. Like it's the least we can do.
Absolutely, and I might even just bring you on rather than respond to you. Just dial you into Riverside.
live advice.
Sure. We'll chat to you. How's your plan?
Here's the link.
6 p.m. on a Sunday. Yeah.
Why is this a Riverside link instead of a Zoom link?
Why is there a camera on?
Oh dear. Anyway. Should we get on to the rest of the show, Barks? We finished the eggs. Yeah. Let's get on to the bosses.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna say I'll go first because I know what you're gonna say, and I personally love it because it's a bit of a story from previous episodes. But we sort of backhanded or gave a bit of a bump on the way through the sports grad. But during the week, they they do terrific stuff, and during the week, they linked up with Carlton College of Sport. So Carlton College of Sport is Carlton's education, better than me, the proper terminology, but it's basically our university. Is it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, nice. I work there.
Just testing to see how much you actually retain from the videos you make, but yeah, that's correct.
Nah, it's my favorite university in the world. So they've linked up. I'm not sure of the details because I don't give a fuck. No, I've been off all week and probably wasn't there when it happened, but I just wanted to boss them.
Explain what sports grad is, just in case anyone doesn't know, Bucks, and that'll give you an idea of what they're doing with Carlton College.
Well, they basically help people get jobs in the industry. They get people, they hold, well, I think they host a fair few meetups and stuff where people can actually meet each other and network, all that lovely stuff. I think they've got a podcast too. So just basically really built a solid community that helps people get jobs and get young people like Bray. I no doubt maybe Bray's talked to them. Probably a good example.
So they're basically us, but professional and with actual organisation is what Bucks.
And we don't encourage studying.
Although a little disappointed, we've never been invited to talk on a panel for them. I reckon we could do a good job of hosting one of these sports things.
They probably want professional people that come across well.
Bullshit professionals, come on.
I actually think they've inboxed us about doing stuff together. So you might want to. I know you don't read it. You just literally said you don't respond to people, so you probably don't know.
I wait for you to tell me that I need to respond to something. And then
literally, times listeners will be. Jules will be in a conversation that I'm not aware of. I'll check up. I'm like, oh, I replied. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, good segue.
Yes. So we I don't know if you guys, if you followers all remember a few, probably like, I don't know, it might have been season 3 or season 2.
It's a fair while ago. It was a boss.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a previous boss of yours.
So we stumbled across this corking company called Tony Cork. No, what?
Tony Cork Pro Sealer.
Tony Cork's Pro Sealers. Done in the old Tony Hawk's Pro Skater kind of emblem and stuff like that. And I fucking loved it. Like, I was all
about it. It's a great fun
all about it. We put it up as a reel. And Tony Cork finally found the reel, reposted it. And not only has this legend, like, reposted it, but he reached out to us and he's like, fuck yeah, boys, love this. Can I send you some merch? And me being the absolute, like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'd wear that non-stop if I had a Tony Cork Pro Sealer thing. And to go one step further, this guy must be just the nicest man in the world. He invited us to his like Christmas party.
It's Christmas party.
Unfortunately, we can't attend because we've got our own Christmas party. But what a guy!
Just that true Aussie like spirit. Like, he's an example of when, I'm not saying he's a larrikin, but like in a positive way, where you're just awfully kind and you just go next level after next level. So he's responded, given us some love, offered us merch. Given us invite to a Christmas party.
Rate it so highly. So I tell you what I'm going to do is I've got one of our t-shirts left. I think as soon as Tony Cork shoots over some merch, I'll do a bit of a merch exchange and shoot it back. I think that's the least we can do. I think Tony Cork, you're my boss again. Thank you for being such a great guy.
Maybe the first ever individual 2-time boss, so he can wear that.
If only the merch will be a 3-time, I can guarantee it.
If only wear like some sort. Can you imagine like some sort of gold stickers of bosses? So you like hand them a t-shirt and you give them like two emblems.
Yeah.
All right, too far.
Oh dear.
All right. That's bosses. Controversial call. Let's fight. I don't have one, but I want to fight.
Oh, we're gonna fight about this one, Barks.
Okay.
I don't know if it's worth bringing up the tweet because the media got deleted because it's all cricket related. But during the week, Edwin, our friend of the show, Social Sandwich, unofficial third host, retweeted someone that said, like, basically, we all know that social video is going more towards 9:16, right? But video producers are getting so fucking lazy and not tracking the play into the middle of the frame. So you're just seeing edges of nothing until the broadcast footage actually shoots across. And it is a big pet peeve for me because I know it's not that hard to do. I know that it's just like a little panning thing that you do in Premiere. It takes probably an extra 3 minutes, but fuck me, video producers, pull your fucking heads in.
No, I agree. I'm not going to argue. I'll passionately.
We're going to fight on that one.
I will say that Instagram don't make it easy. Like, if we're going to do everything real, and you got to just give us extra work, change the subtitle size, etc., etc. It's just these little tedious things. But no, I can't. I trust me. There'd be nothing more that I'd love to do on this Sunday night than to fight you. But I agree. If you're going to do a job properly, so
why do you think video producers aren't doing it? As a video producer, what would be why isn't it happening?
I guess just effort. Can't be bothered. Yeah, I don't really. Maybe it's just attention to detail. Like, it works in a square, we'll dump it in a reel, hope for the best. And it's just the old thing of watching it back. Like, you're right, it's not hard.
All right. Well, I thought we were going to fight on that.
What do you think? What do you think I'd defend it? Like, what do you think a realistic thing I'd defend that for?
Well, I would say time sensitivity is one, but I'd argue that you'd want to get the highlight right before.
Yeah, and you still got to watch it back.
Yeah, I don't know what the defense is, and that's what I was asking. Is there something obvious that I'm missing here? Because
no, it's just effort.
Yeah,
it's just effort. And you still see. I've seen a lot of clubs. I might even whack Darren. Oh, it's probably not directly him, but the NBL
Yes.
posts a lot of the. Not, still, they post a lot of landscape like videos as reels, and it pisses me off. Like, just do it properly. Maybe that's why.
Is this where they do the like blurred?
Yeah,
Bottom. Yeah.
that even annoys me even more. That would require that takes more effort than to pan across the screen. Like, just do it properly because it just looks lazy. And even when they don't, it's got the black borders up the top. And you're watching on your phone, and it's like this tiny little basketball highlight. You're like, oh yeah,
Black borders, bane of my existence.
Anyway, God, we're not fighting enough on this.
Maybe we need your dad to come on and really light a fire up under our ass.
Maybe, but we'll fight. We'll get. It's still my favorite segment because there's a chance.
There's a chance.
There's a chance.
Oh dear. All right, let's wrap this up. Dickwad.
Pete
Bucks. That was a good week. Good episode, I think. So we didn't have any content this week, but
Bray was our content.
Bray was our content. Now, we're getting close to Christmas, Bucks. Can I put something to you live on the show?
You can.
A Christmas live episode next Friday.
If you can make it work, hang on, what date is that? Is that Christmas Eve?
Or Thursday. Thursday night live. Can I put that to you?
If we can get it to work, yes.
And I'm suggesting, and this is
in
a big
person.
ask, in person, you and I sit together, we fire up the live because Riverside, it's got a built-in streaming thing, so we don't need to worry about anything.
Wow. God, it's good.
We sit together and we go live. How do you feel about that?
I love it. Our Christmas party is Wednesday night, though, so that's the only thing that's worrying me if we're a bit seedy. Maybe we'll have to make Friday night. But either way, I'm down.
Last one of the year. We'll wrap it up with a live.
Do we have to talk about Christmas content, though?
I've got a few good Christmas ones. You can bring whatever you want. I've seen a few already.
Okay.
One I was itching to bring this week, but I'll bring it next week.
No, save it. We'll have a Christmas live. We'll call it Christmas live. I won't guarantee I'm talking about Christmas content, though.
Yeah, I'll bring you your present then as well.
Oh, shit. We're doing... Oh, fuck.
Mate, I told you I'm on Christmas presents this year. I'm doing really well.
You are? Okay. Now you've made me feel guilty. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about something. Oh, we met the celebrant today. Pretty cool. Oh. Pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah, that was exciting. A lot of details we hadn't thought about, but that's all right.
Okay, talk to me. What do they want to know? As a celebrant myself, I can give you
I forgot about this. So we rocked up to this pub and it was just Jules sitting there.
With a different wig on.
Hello. No, it was just good to how... Because we're going very non-traditional. Like, it's sort of... Elise is going to be there from the start. It's like,
thank God.
She'll be there full stop.
She won't be here.
Even just asking, okay, so after the ceremony, what do you imagine happening? Because you don't want to exit. You don't want to exit as a couple dancing around, all that prancy stuff. Yeah. You don't want that.
Oh, no dancing for Michael Parker.
So just the details of that. She asked what we were wearing, which obviously Elise... some form of white, even though I say non-traditional, so maybe it's purple, who knows? But she asked me what I was wearing because she didn't want to clash with us. So details like that.
Oh, yes. Very smart. Yeah, that's a good step. I can send some recommendations. Did she ask you any questions about who you are as people?
No, I've got to fill out. I might be in my inbox now. There's a fun quiz that I'm looking forward to.
A fun quiz. Should we do it live next week?
That's basically, you'd know this as a celebrant. That's what gives her answers. Yeah. And yes, the details. But yeah, no, it was fun.
I tell you what, can I do the quiz live on air next week?
Oh, I'd love that. I reckon I'll run it past the list because, you know, it could be
personal. Yeah, that's so true.
I mean, there won't be anything inappropriate, but...
Yeah. And just or maybe maybe the celebrant, maybe it's their IP or something. I don't want to fuck with that.
True. Yeah. We'll reword it like mysteriously.
Yeah. And I tell you what, as a special Christmas treat next week, I will actually bring the video of me.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that.
The video.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And can we post it up?
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. Why not?
Okay.
I think
we posted it. There's a lot happening.
It's just an edit of me only.
I want a zoomed up pixel.
Oh dear. All right, friends, enemies. I hope you've enjoyed this week. Thanks again to our guest Bray for jumping on a Sunday night. Hope you enjoyed the revamped format. We're going to try and bring a few more short guests appearances on, because I feel like we want to keep these kind of snappy, and just have it be a bit of fun. A couple of questions, then go on.
Or if that's not preferred and you prefer the long form, let us know, because I'm open to adjusting for whatever the listener wants. And
Yes.
I did purposely put that as listener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you can just
no
shoot
plural.
a text after
Yeah.
this. And be like,
I'll ask that
what do you
after a
like?
minute. That's funny
Alright.
for me.
You've been pretty good this week.
Yeah, you have too. Oh, I can't wait to see your face. Hope you're in the office tomorrow.
Oh, we'll be in the office. We'll see you, everyone. Have a good week. Be nice to each other. Bye.
See ya. Thanks, Bray.
Bye.
Is he still here? Who knows?
No, who knows?
He might join us.
Here he comes again.
He's like, I'm still here, guys.